So this is really the first time I'm actually able to have a real proper look at it with fixing it in mind. From that, taking the glass out has uncovered a lot more areas. There's a lot more rot than I'd first thought, which is not great. Most of it's rust repair. It's made of steel and it goes rusty with being outside in the weather. There's a few areas where water's been trapped and it's gone rotten. Just having a little look here, as this is all flexing and the solid paint is just crumbling, there's little hints of gold underneath. This whole detailed section was gold up to that point, which must have looked amazing. I'm really looking forward to doing that. That's going to be great. It's just going to look absolutely brilliant. Big dilemma I've got is I'm missing a door. I've got remains of a hinge plate here and a little latch there. Going to use a bit of artistic license there with that because I've literally got nothing to go from. I've got my work cut out. There's definitely a lot more work here than I first anticipated.
Inside the barn, Matt has sourced an exact match for the decorative glass panels he needs to replace.
This type of glass is quite unique. It's called flash glass, and it's got 2 different layers of glass on it. It's got clear glass, which makes up the main body, and then you have this very fine layer of red on top. A blast medium is fired at it, and it takes off the top red layer, and then it reveals the clear underneath. And what that means is I'm going to have to do rubbings of the ones that are already intact. It's going to be made into a stencil. The stencil is going to be put on the glass, and then where the lettering is revealed in the stencil is going to be sandblasted.
So I've got the first one of my frames for the glass orbs now welded together. Really, really pleased with these, honestly. Got so many hours of work into making this. To get it this shape and to keep it flat enough for a piece of glass to stick to the back has been a real challenge for me. The big test now is obviously if it's going to fit. That's brilliant. That's fantastic. It fits lovely. Really, really good. OK, so now it's time to remove the old rotten piece and replace it with this. So the one good thing about this lamp being barely held together is that it's quite very easy to get apart. It's basically soldered together with a very, very low melting temperature solder. So I barely have to show it the blowtorch and it just falls apart. The other side of that is that when I'm welding in the new pieces, I need to be very careful not to get the bit that I'm welding too hot, because otherwise that heat will transfer through the metal, and whilst I'm repairing one part, the other side could very easily fall apart. The structure of the lamp is kind of coming into place now. It's stopped moving around and flexing all over the place. I can now tackle the door. I'm going to be making it from scratch because I don't have anything to work from at all. Literally 2 half-broken hinges hanging off and just a big hole. So I'm going to be making it out of 1mm steel, which is what this used to be before half of it rotted away. If I was to just cut a rectangle or square of steel and solder the hinges on and just bolt it on, it would be flopping around all over the place. It's like a sheet of steel. It's so thin, it doesn't have really any strength in it that way. It would just flex around like a crisp packet. To tackle that, I think I'm going to put a little indent in the front in the metal. That will give it the strength that it needs. Give it a little border, nice little area here for the lock latch to go, and then I've got a nice border here again to put my hinges on.